tonight? Okay, the most important question that happens in a very lower class, poor neighborhood amongst kids is, my dad can beat up your dad, right? It's the most important question when you have no money and you just hang out on a street corner. But I had a lot of like dad insecurity, you know? Because like all my friends' dads, they were like bruisers. Like we were white trash. Well, they were. I lived in Upper Darby on a hill in a single home. I was landed gentry, you know? I had one of those like above ground pools, like an Upper Darby redneck Riviera, you know? But like all my friends had fathers that like drank a lot of beer and cursed in front of them and stuff. You know, my father never said the F word. At least at this point, I had never heard him say that. But I was very concerned with my father's physical fighting prowess versus the rest of my friends' fathers. My father was a well-traveled man. He was in the Navy, and then he went to college, and he read National Geographic. Didn't give a shit if the Eagles won or not. Like, these were not things that mattered to him. And my father was a man, he tried to teach his children not to engage in violent behavior. Said, violence solves nothing, it's completely pointless. I was like, okay, Dad. But I could never question my father about any violence, though, because I didn't know any. My mom and dad had this like policy that whenever we asked them anything about what they did before we were born, they would laugh and go, huh, we're not your friends. We're not your friends. You know? So I was growing up, I had a lot of like dad insecurity, man, and especially in Upper Darby, in like a very tough blue-collar area. And I remember I was about 5 years old, and we were playing in an alley, because that's what poor kids do, okay? Like, they send you in an alley, and it's like, just go find glass and rocks and entertain yourself, you know? And there was, at the top of I was at my cousin's house on a street called Copley Road, dense row homes, a lot of really nice trees, but we were never allowed to go to the top of the street. Like, we were not allowed at all, because at the top of the street is where the Cutler boys lived. And they were older, and they were fucking scary, okay? Like, they were already out of high school, like in that in-between age of like 18 to 21, so they would just hang out on their porch. And the one guy, his name was Kevin Cutler, he was, I guess you could say he dabbled in substances. So he would walk down the street barefoot in like jeans and just name the members of Led Zeppelin. That's all he would do. He would be like, John Ray. I was like, the fuck's this dude, man? So one day, we're playing in the alley, we were not allowed to go near these kids, like we were not allowed to go near them. And it was me, my cousins, my brothers, and some other various kids in the neighborhood. And the Cutler boys and their ilk walked down the alley. And I was standing directly in front of the leader, Kevin Cutler's way. And Kevin Cutler picked me up and said, hey, what's up, little man? And he had like this beard and like hair that was just unwashed and gross and a leather jacket. I remember he smelled awful. I remember that. I am 40. This happened 35 years ago. I have smelled dumpsters in Chinatown that are better than him. So this guy, he picks me up and I am terrified. Everybody, my brothers, cousins, the whole neighborhood leaves me to fucking die, okay? And they just run back to my aunt's house. So here I am surrounded. This guy's like hugging me essentially, and he puts me down. So it's very interesting is that we were always over my grandparents' house like all the time. Like, and my aunt and my uncle lived in row homes, so we were always there. The day before, my father was doing a home improvement project at his mother-in-law's house. He left a case of beer in his car. This is the day before this happened. The case of beer in his car. When he came outside, the case of beer was gone, and he was very mad. Very mad about this. This is going to, you'll see. So, my mom calls my father, okay? And my dad, now I understand that I don't know what my dad was going to do, because at this point, I didn't know if my dad could fucking fight or not, you know? Like, I'm very worried. Like, all my friends' fathers are like, you know, in the police blotter of like the Delaware County Times every week. Like, my dad was like a good dad. I was like, I don't know if this dude can handle this. So my mom calls my dad and said, one of the Cutler boys touched your son. My dad pulls up in a Buick Regal, okay? It's Friday at 5 o'clock, and he's got his tie on, and he's got like a white short sleeve shirt. He looked like Michael Douglas in Falling Down. Not a joke. So me and my dad were like best friends. We were buddies. And he pulls up, and I'm on my grandma's porch. I'm like, hi, Dad! And he looks at me like this. And he's walking up to the Cutler's house, okay? And I had never heard my dad angry, ever. I never heard him be loud. I never heard him be violent. I never heard him say a goddamn ill thing about anybody. Nicest man on the planet. He gets out of the car. He starts undoing his goddamn tie. And I know at 5 that shit is about to get real. So my father marches up to this corner, there's like 15 white trash hoodlums. And my father walks up, quiet as can be, with his tie undone. And he looks at Kevin and he goes, if you ever touch my fucking son again, I'll fucking murder all of you. And they all were like, and then he goes, if you ever steal my beer again, I'll fucking kill your parents. And he walked down and he goes, let me tell you something, son, I'm a nice guy, but nobody ever fucks with my family. And I was like, I'm 5. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.